Hello, Jude from WriteOkSo.com. Today we're just going to be going through a quick before and after of a client of mine called KaringFrontiers. So KaringFrontiers are a charity that focus on bringing refugee children from Myanmar access to education. And they're doing an absolutely fantastic job. Last year they raised around $40,000, which is absolutely incredible considering this charity is has been started by just some students out of kind of a high school project. It's absolutely fantastic to see, and I've been working with them now for around 3 years. So I made their website first of all in 2020, and then I've redone it for the second time now in 2023. So their website before was still functional, it still worked, and it was still up to date for the most part. But they'd kind of outgrown that previous solution, and obviously my skills had vastly developed over the 3 years between the two sites. So we had to go at redesigning and completely redeploying the website from the ground up. So I'm going to showcase the before and the after and point out some key differences between a website you could expect to be made 3 years ago and one that was made not too long ago whatsoever. So without further ado, let me put myself down in the bottom left. So let's go on to the home pages for both sites. So here is the new site, and we'll start with the old site. This is the old site. This is the 2020 version. So as you can see, it doesn't look terrible, if I do say so myself. You've got the video that will play in the background, but as you can see at the top, this kind of shows you if the page is loading. You can see that the loading time is not good whatsoever. So this page is still actually loading, and one of the primary reasons for that is it's trying to load this high quality video in the background. So if we scroll down, you can see that you've got some quite basic sections, and then this testimonial slider and some animations showcasing some key statistics. And then this was previously a YouTube video, but obviously this site isn't live anymore, so some of the functionality is broken. As you can see, that's only just loaded now, and this video started actually playing in the background. If we go through to the learn more, you can see some more examples of what the site looked like. Again, it's taken quite a while to load, and then you've got huge amounts of content and stuff like this that doesn't really fit the structure that was laid out. Then if you go to the About Us page, you've got the team. As you scroll through, you've got in the news, which is again presented in a way that's not quite optimal. And then you've got the donate page, which has just got this big button that will take you straight through to Raisely, which is the platform they use to collect donations. So a few quick things before we jump over to the new site. So this site was actually hard coded, so that means that I had the files on my computer, and whenever KaringFrontiers needed to make a change, they would request that change from me, and I would go ahead and make those changes manually. Now, that is a very inefficient approach, because with the solutions that are available today, you can onboard a client to something like Webflow or Framer. This site is using Webflow, but in recent projects, I've actually been transferring over to Framer. And they'll be able to make those changes themselves very easily. These tools are incredibly easy to use for clients, especially from just the perspective of actually adding content, so static content. For instance, if they wanted to change this title at the top, or if they wanted to add a news item, which would be done inside of a CMS, which is a content management system. It would be incredibly easy to do so with some of the newer solutions that are out there, including what was provided for the new site. So, in fact, let's quickly go back to the homepage to recap. So, and once again, it's going to take its time to load because of that big video. But there you are. So this is the homepage, and then this is the new homepage. As you can see, we've added some really lovely kind of interactions and animations that kind of parallax over one another. That's giving the user or visitor a really great experience as soon as they land on the site. They can see some of the great things that KaringFrontiers are doing immediately off the bat. And as they scroll through, you've got just a much nicer presented few sections of static content. Then you've got the testimonial slider, but it is more usable because previously you would have the slider, if I go back down, and these buttons are quite small and you're not immediately aware that there's other content to be seen. Whereas with this, you can see immediately the other content that is coming with the slider. You've got the statistics, and they've just again been much clearer and been made much clearer. So instead of using bold like kind of throughout the text, we've pulled out the key information and separated it so that it's much more readable and much more digestible. And we want these statistics that are super powerful to really like stand out and jump out from the page, as opposed to being kind of like weaved into other parts of the text. We've got a really important call to action at the bottom, and this is present on quite a few of the pages. Then we've got the footer with various different links. And if we go over to learn more, you'll start to see even more of what we've done. So we haven't actually changed the content particularly very much, because the site was already generating quite a lot of organic traffic through search engines because of the content on it. So what we wanted to do is make sure that we didn't kind of detract from any of the impact or organic traffic that we'd already started to generate with the site. So we kept a lot of the content the same. However, what we did do is add analytics to the site, which it previously didn't have the capabilities for. So we use a tool called Fathom Analytics, which is a really privacy-focused analytics tool. And it essentially means that they can track where people are coming from and potentially see which areas they would look to target with their marketing, so that they can get more people from those places. And of course, they can also track visits and device type and things like that. We've also got some nice links out from the site, but you'll be able to see that actually opens in a new tab, so people can continue their browsing on the website itself. So I'll skip ahead through to the donate section. This is where some of the really big changes actually happen. So you'll remember that previously on the donate page, you just had this big button that serves a purpose, but it takes the user straight out to Raisely, their donation platform. However, with the new site, you've got this lovely embedded donation portal that the user can immediately, while on the site, actually make their donation. So you can go through, input all of your details, and you can make the donation directly on the website, which just removes another barrier. And that's a lot of what we want to do with conversion. We want to remove the steps and barriers that people need to jump over or hurdle in order to do what you want them to do, which in this case is obviously to donate to the cause. And then you've got some information that kind of highlights like what the donations will actually be paying for, or how much they could kind of provide, and some nice frequently asked questions down the bottom as well. So that kind of sums things up. If you are in the market for a kind of transformation like this, with not only from a design perspective, but from usability, from optimization, all of this kind of thing, that is exactly what we can help you with here at rightokso.com. So do definitely get in touch, and feel free to reach out even if you've got any questions. Potentially if you're a web designer yourself and you want to understand more about what we did with the site, then definitely do reach out, and I'd be more than happy to share some more in-depth insights or potentially some technical information about the two sites. So without further ado, thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.